The spotlight is on Kentucky as the state's voters head to the polls tomorrow for the primary. What Democratic presidential candidates Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders told them today.
A family watches as a bizarre police chase comes to an end in their front yard.
Police say a man admitted stealing more than $15,000 worth of purses from a Kentucky outlet mall. Why they said he did it.
This is WKYT News at 11.
And good evening. It looks like a wet and cool election day across Kentucky, and much of the bluegrass rain is already falling.
And that is going to continue tomorrow. We begin tonight with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey and your no-wait weather forecast.
Hi guys, rain out there this evening coming at us in some light showers on another day that had temperatures way below normal. We started with some frost, ending with only upper 50s for many areas, and now the rain train rolls back into the bluegrass state where we're seeing the greens, the dark green, and the yellows. That's where the rains are a little heavier at times, especially northern Kentucky, but the last few frames showing a couple of showers moving into parts of central Kentucky. Notice how the rain now begins to increase London, Corbin, Somerset, right on top of Lake Cumberland, and heavier rains lining up from southeastern Missouri right on top of the Ohio River, Paducah, Owensboro, Evansville. What you see here is right on top of us first thing tomorrow morning as we have a boundary that is stalled out across the Tennessee Valley. Warm to the south of that, chilly to the north of it, and that's going to keep the supply of moisture along and north of that boundary. Watch your timeline. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, hello morning commute and hello rains across most areas. That will maybe lighten up a little bit as we go into tomorrow afternoon, but I've got a lot of rain on the way. Hour by hour forecast comes your way, guys, at 11:13. I'll see you then.
Chris, thank you. In about 7 hours from now, polls will open across much of Kentucky, beginning primary election day. And the two Democratic candidates for president have given the bluegrass state a lot of attention in the last few days.
Yes, they have. Both Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders campaigned around the state this past weekend. And tonight, Hillary Clinton spoke at a rally on the campus of Transylvania University here in Lexington. Garrett Weimer has our top story at 11.
Join with me in welcoming the woman who I hope will be the next president of the United States, Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Hillary Clinton stopped in Lexington to make her final push before Kentuckians go to the polls. It was her fourth rally across Kentucky in the last 2 days before the primary.
If you go out and vote for me tomorrow, I will work for you, I will fight for you, I will stand up for you. Let's go make the future we deserve to have. Thank you, and God bless you.
With 60 delegates, including 5 superdelegates at stake, both candidates have been fighting for votes here in the bluegrass, putting the spotlight on Kentucky leading up to the primary. Bernie Sanders made several stops in Kentucky over the weekend. He spent Monday in Puerto Rico.
What this campaign is about is an understanding that we cannot bring the kinds of changes that we need in the 50 states and in Puerto Rico unless there is a political revolution.
Sanders won the last 2 primaries in Indiana and West Virginia. Clinton won Kentucky's Democratic primary in 2008. Now she hopes the bluegrass will be Clinton country again. In Lexington, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
As for the Republicans, presumptive nominee Donald Trump won the Kentucky GOP caucus back in March, and he's running effectively unopposed in tomorrow's other primary in Oregon. Trump told Fox News reporter Megyn Kelly he does not consider himself to be a bully, despite claims from his opponents. He says he was just responding to what they said about him first. And Ohio Governor John Kasich said he will not launch a third-party bid for president, saying it didn't feel right. There are many other races besides the Democratic presidential primary on the ballot tomorrow. Both Democrats and Republicans will choose nominees for the U.S. Senate seat. That's held right now by Republican Senator Rand Paul. He's facing 2 challengers in his primary. On the Democratic side, Lexington Mayor Jim Gray among 7 candidates. All of Kentucky's 6 U.S. House seats are up for grabs this year, but some candidates are running unopposed in their primaries. And there are many state, House, and Senate races on the ballot as well tomorrow. Stay with WKYT throughout the day for complete primary day coverage. We'll also have election results on WKYT.com.
A strange sight in Georgetown this afternoon. Police say a man led them on a wild chase in a stolen RV. Tonight, 30-year-old Jason Judd faces many charges. Police arrested him after they say the RV got stuck. They say the vehicle was stolen early this morning from Northside RVs in Lexington. New tonight, Monique Blair talked to a family who owns the yard where the chase ended.
Typically a quiet street in Georgetown, Quill Run Drive quickly became the talk of the neighborhood Monday afternoon.
What I was thinking was, these guys must be shooting a movie or something.
But it wasn't a movie. It was very real. Around 2 p.m., Georgetown police attempted to pull over a stolen RV, but the driver didn't stop. The driver, later identified as 30-year-old Jason Judd, then took the RV into the heart of downtown, swiping several cars along the way. He then turned down a dead-end road, but police say Judd didn't stop there. He drove right through that fence.
I think any time a pursuit, you think a pursuit's going to end at a dead-end road, and he busts through a fence. It's like Dukes of Hazzard. I mean, it just kept going.
Now, after Judd broke through that fence, Georgetown police say he drove through several backyards here on Quail Run, and then that police chase ended right here in the Cravens' front yard.
We both saw this big RV come plowing up the road, plowing up the lawn, actually.
Slowly coming to a stop, and as I said, there were police officers coming this way, there were police officers behind it.
Harold Craven says he's not worried that his lawn is torn up because he says it could have been much worse.
I was thinking to myself, you know, if my son had been like 30 seconds later coming down the driveway, he could have hit him head on. So that kind of was, you know, that kind of gave me the chills.
In Georgetown,
It's incredibly bizarre, and I don't think I'll ever see anything like it again.
Monique Blair, WKYT.
Georgetown police say they think drugs played a role in all of this. They've charged Judd with wanton endangerment and possession of a controlled substance, among other offenses. We have some new information tonight about how police say more than $15,000 worth of purses were stolen from a Central Kentucky outlet mall. Police say they found the Kate Spade purses in Spencer County this morning. They say Aaron Bruner, a maintenance worker at the outlet shops of the Bluegrass in Shelby County, stole the purses from the Kate Spade store at the mall. Police say he, along with Courtney Kresher and Marlon Hill, then sold some of the purses at pawn shops, gas station parking lots, and online. All three were arrested today. Police say Kate Spade employees didn't even know the purses had been stolen.
They were shocked. I think they started calling the loss prevention in New York to let them know what was going on.
Police say Bruner admitted stealing the purses to support a drug habit. They say more arrests are possible in the case.
New tonight, police have arrested a man they say robbed a bank in Lexington last week. Lexington police say 18-year-old Rameese Woods has been charged with robbery. Police arrested him in Nicholasville. They say Woods and two other men walked into the City National Bank on Walden Drive last Tuesday and robbed it at gunpoint. Police say that one of the robbers wore a Captain America mask and a sweatshirt. They say they're still looking for the other two people in the case. 4 men have been charged with murder for the shooting death of a Central Kentucky teenager. Police say 18-year-old DeMichael Bolton was killed last October outside a party in Anderson County. Police say after reviewing surveillance video from that night, they charged William Edwards, Kenneth Berry, Kendall Berry, and Antoine James. All 4 were already in jail on drug-related charges. Bolton's family and friends say the arrests are a relief.
We already had ideas, and we was just, when is something gonna happen? But it's here now, so that's good.
State police say they're still looking for 2 other suspects wanted in the case.
A fallen Jessamine County paramedic will be receiving some national recognition this weekend. John Mackey died last November after a car hit him while he was on duty. He'll be among those honored during the National EMS Memorial Service in Washington, D.C. on Saturday, and his name will be on the National EMS Memorial once it's built. Mackey's family plans to be in Washington this weekend, along with some of his co-workers.
We're there to support John, even though he's not with us, and that he's being nationally recognized for a service that he left.
While the main EMS memorial is Saturday, there are other events leading up to it. Most of Mackey's family plans to leave for Washington tomorrow.
New tonight, surveillance video showing a truck slamming into a Laurel County car wash, causing a lot of damage.
The Laurel County Sheriff's Office arrested the driver, 38-year-old Joseph Boswell, and charged him with assault, DUI, and criminal mischief. It all started when police say Boswell punched his mother in the face and kicked her at home on Robinson Creek Road. Minutes later, they say he crashed his truck into the Ultimate Shine car wash on US 25 near London. Police say Boswell then ran off, leaving the truck behind, but they say he returned to the car wash a short time later after police had arrived.
That's kind of an unusual set of circumstances. We get called to domestics frequently, but for the person to flee the scene and then be involved in another incident of great significance is pretty rare.
Police say Boswell admitted taking a prescription painkiller before the crash. The owner of the car wash isn't sure how much it will cost to repair all the damage. New tonight, a government official says an Amtrak engineer was distracted by radio transmissions before his train derailed in Philadelphia last year, killing 8 people. The official spoke to the Associated Press anonymously because the investigation is ongoing. The National Transportation Safety Board is scheduled to meet tomorrow to determine a probable cause of the derailment.
A man charged in connection to a string of arsons at homes around central Kentucky was back in court today. 38-year-old John Roth is charged with receiving stolen property in Jessamine County. Police say he tried to pawn jewelry stolen from a Madison County home that was broken into and set on fire. A judge sent that case to the grand jury today, and police say Roth could face more charges. Police say that 6 homes in Fayette, Scott, Madison, Jessamine, and Garrett counties were broken into and set on fire. Some of the victims were at today's hearing.
It's a chilling feeling that somebody would do this and get some kind of satisfaction out of hurting people to that magnitude.
Police have charged a 17-year-old with arson and burglary for the Madison County fire, and investigators say other people could soon be charged as well. New tonight, a Lexington security company is warning its customers about fake salesmen. Bates Security says in the last 2 weeks, customers have claimed a man has showed up at their home claiming to work for Bates Security. They say the person says the customer's security system is not working properly. And in one case, the customer claimed the man asked for her security password. Bates security leaders say these people do not work for them, and they're using fraud to pressure people into switching security services to a new company.
This year, we've already had 6 customers actually contact us to say that people have come and knocked on their door. They're not professionally dressed, they're not professionally trained, they have made the customers feel uncomfortable, they are pushy with the customers.
Bates Security says one of their employees will never come to your home without setting up an appointment first.
New tonight, for the first time in its nearly 170-year history, Midway University will allow men to enroll in its daytime undergraduate programs. Midway's Board of Trustees voted unanimously to make the change. Men were already allowed to enroll in online evening and graduate programs. Male commuter students will be allowed to enroll for on-campus daytime classes this fall, and the university will begin taking applications for men wanting to live in residence halls next spring. The board said it made the change so Midway University would stay viable.